The global economy is facing an increasingly gloomy outlook amid rising inflation, supply chain disruptions, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Malaysia will not be spared from its impacts. Dr. Juita Mohamad from the Institute of Democracy and Economic Affairs discusses where the country's economy is headed.
You see stalling growth in the US, in China, and also in the Eurozone. So again, this is something that will impact us as a small open economy. And especially as an exporting country, we do feel that Malaysia will be impacted, especially when the US is introducing higher OPR rates. There will be reduced household purchasing power, and tighter monetary policy, again, will drive growth down to about 2.3% and about 1% next year. So despite slowing activity, again, this is again coupled with global inflation, and this is again due to the rising food prices like we have seen in Malaysia, and also energy prices hikes. So again, unfortunately, we are anticipating higher inflation rates in the advanced economies of up to 6.6%. But looking at emerging markets and developing economies, the inflation rate might go as high as 9.5% in the coming months. So again, this, would reflect the cost of pressure from disrupted supply chains, and again, the tightening of labor markets. So all of this factors play a role in how a small open economy like Malaysia will absorb the impact. So we do need to brace ourselves from the anticipated slowdown in global growth and global demand in the next coming months or so.
With the world's 3 largest economies stalling, Juita highlights some measures Malaysia should take to safeguard the economy and society.
Continuous upskilling and also upgrading of talents is very much needed in the digital economy. And this is where the government, again, has done a lot of work on TVET. I do understand that a lot of work, a lot of resources has been poured into preparing or onboarding MSMEs into digital platforms. But again, there needs to be some sort of monitoring and also assessments on how well these training packages are in terms of not just onboarding businesses, but also in, having awareness on data protection acts, having awareness like with other cybersecurity issues, for example. So it shouldn't be just to aim to onboard MSMEs, but these programs should go even further beyond that for, again, sustainability, and also to ensure that MSMEs are competitive enough to not just enter the digital platforms and digital economy, but to stay there as long as they can.
She adds that the government must also look into further developing the country's social protection system.
We do see that, again, there's a lack of continuity with the cash transfer programs, with, again, not much assessment or monitoring on the impacts it has on vulnerable households and targeted households. I think at the end of the day, as workers are going back into work, and I feel that, again, as a small open economy, we're very much again open to and vulnerable to the global trends. This is where I feel that local workers and workers in Malaysia in general need to be empowered, and we can do so, the government can do so by allowing again, workers through workers and trade associations to bargain for a better pay, for example, or a better non-wage packages. This is again very much the characteristics of a developed country. So we do need to be thinking about that. We do need to be thinking about inclusivity in terms of social protection, especially when Malaysia is going into the path of becoming an aging society in the next 2 decades or so.